finally got my new camera, the Sony a6500. Rather than do a whole load of boring tests indoors, I thought I'd get out and about with the camera and see how it really performs. So let's start by talking about all of the things that I absolutely love about this camera. The picture is absolutely phenomenal. 4K at 30 frames per second looks exquisite, particularly when you use some of the flatter picture profiles like S-Log2 and S-Log3. You will have to play around in post-production. They do require color grading, but there are some lookup tables readily available from Sony that allow you to do that quickly and easily, and they're going to give you far better detail in the lower light elements of the picture, giving you better dynamic range in your video. You can also shoot in 1080p at up to 120 frames per second, which means that you can do some fabulous slow-mo stuff when you slow that back down to 30 frames per second. And of course, the glass that's available for you on the on the Sony system, should I say, is just exquisite. On this, I've got the Carl Zeiss 24 to 70mm lens, and it's just phenomenally sharp corner to corner. I've actually opted to go for full frame glass, albeit this is a crop sensor camera, so that if I did ever make the move up to a full frame sensor, I've got the glass readily available and I don't have to make the change, I don't have to trade anything in. The thing that I really dislike about this camera is the LCD screen for two reasons. One, it just washes out in bright sunshine. It's effectively unusable, so I actually ended up using the viewfinder, which actually is pretty good. It's got an OLED screen inside it, which you can see your audio meters, you can see your exposure, etc. You can change settings on the menu. I hope that they do a different eyepiece for it that will actually wrap around my eye, because I can't see myself using the LCD screen at all. Notwithstanding that point, the screen doesn't flip round. It does tilt up and down, but because it doesn't tilt out, if you're a vlogger, this camera is going to become very, very difficult to use. You can attach an external monitor to the device, and that works pretty well, except when you're using 4K video, you don't get any of your HUD readout, so that you can't see what your exposure, etc. looks like, but you can at least frame your shot. The audio preamps are much better than I've been used to on the Canon 70D, and I have to say, all round, this is a superb little camera. Battery life was much better than I expected it to be. We were out and about for about 2.5 hours, and I had the camera on easily more than 50% of the time, and I still had 30% charge left, and I only used one battery when I went out, so much better than I had read in forums and seen on YouTube videos. Of course, it's a mirrorless camera, so it's very compact and lightweight, and I have to say it was a very bright, sunny day, and I had read in numerous places that there are some challenges about overheating on this camera. I had no such problems whatsoever. Not the hottest day granted, but it was very reliable. I was carrying it around switched on while I wasn't actually shooting, and the second that I wanted it to either take a photo or to start shooting video, it was there and it was available for me. The shutter rate of this bad boy when you're taking photos is absolutely incredible, 11 frames per second. After about 20-25 seconds or so, the buffer does start to fill up and you have to wait for it to clear. But, you know, for a top-end enthusiast camera and a crop sensor with this kind of low light performance under higher ISO, you really can't go wrong, and I highly doubt there is a camera with as good a picture in its class. So there we go, guys. There's my quick roundup of the a6500. Suffice to say, I'll be using this camera a lot more in the coming days and weeks, so keep your eyes open for that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this camera down in the comments. I hope you're really well wherever in the world you are. If you're not already subscribed, please do so by bashing that button down there, and I'll see you in my next video.